Welcome back, brothers and sisters of Christ. My name is Brianna and I'm back with another video. And for today's video is be ye set apart. Be set apart. Okay? So to be set apart means to be holy. It means to be the light, to be consecrated and dedicated to God, separate from the world for his holy purpose, to live and look differently from the world, to live a lifestyle that sets an example as a believer, to be sanctified. You know what I'm saying? To be made new. When people see you and talk to you, they should know that you are different from the world. People should know and pick up on if you're a Christian. And not because any religious things that you say or do, but how you carry yourself as a human, as a person. You know what I'm saying? Because you speak with love and grace, because you're modest, because you bring light in dark situations, because you're slow to anger, because you're forgiving, because you're caring, because you're kind, because you're loving, because you carry the very virtues of God. That's how people should know that you are a Christian. That's how people should know that you are set apart, baby, from the world. And to give a few examples, you know, like love. The way you love people should set you apart from others, because most people cannot love their enemies or those who do wrong to them or everyone in general. But you should be an example of that by loving anyone, everyone, people that did you wrong, your enemies. And when they ask you, when they see like, wow, like this person is really loving, they still love this person and that person did X, Y, and Z. How? Because the Lord, because they're set apart. Forgiveness. Most people hold grudges, but you are to be forgiving. Because the world will tell you, hate your enemy. The world will tell you to not forgive. But when you are set apart, you are to live differently from the world and reflect God's holiness. These things set you apart from the world and how the world operates. You know what I'm saying? And then I don't remember exactly what book this was in, but I read this scripture in another one of my videos about how God said, people will know that you are my disciple by the way you love. And it's so true, and it just makes so much sense. All the virtues that we carry, people will know that we are of God if we carry his virtues. The things that he teaches us in his word. That's what sets us apart from the world, because the world is not living a godly way. They're not living according to the Bible because they don't know nothing about the Bible. They're not following Christ. But if you are to live like Christ, which is separate from the world. The world is living like the world, but those who are following Christ is living like Christ, baby. When you are set apart, you should not do the things that the world is doing or look like how the world looks. And this is hard for some Christians to understand, I've noticed. You know, when you come to Christ, we represent him and what he stands for. Okay? And I shouldn't talk to you and be like, oh, I didn't know you was a Christian, because you're talking, acting just like the world, because you're cursing, because you're gossiping, because you're slandering. You know what I'm saying? I shouldn't, and I know that God looks at the heart, he looks at what's inside, but at the end of the day, I shouldn't look at you and be like, you shouldn't be wearing revealing clothes and half naked. I should be able to look at you and be like, this person is presenting themselves well. You know, they are classy, they're modest, professional. You shouldn't be looking like the world from the outside or the inside. But when I talk to you, or when anyone talks to you, then, you know, they should be able to see and recognize the fruit of the Spirit. You should be able to, people should be able to see and feel God in you. When they talk to you, when they're around you, the way you carry yourself. Yes, we are not perfect, but people should still see the God in you. You must have self-control and self-discipline. And a lot of Christians still want to look and sound like the world. And my thing is, how can you then be set apart? How can you be an example or represent Christ if you're just like the world? And people don't even know that you stand for Christ. You know, they thinking, oh, you one of us. You a sinner. You just like us. No. Because I tell you right now, if I go to a church and mainly like because I know that everybody in the church is growing, but if I go to a church, I expect the first lady and the pastor to be examples. I should be able to look at them and know they are of Christ. You know what I'm saying? I should be able to talk to them and know that they are of Christ. And the thing about it is, like, people just don't understand when you come to Christ. Yes, you are an example. Yes, you are a representation of them. Yes, people are watching you. Yes, you are expected to present yourself a certain way. Why? Because we are representing Christ. Okay? And when you're representing Christ, you are to stand for what he stands for, because it ain't going to add up if you're not. You're not truly representing Christ if you are not standing for what the Lord stands for. People want the world and Jesus, and it just does not work like that. It never have, and it never will. The whole point of coming to Christ is to be transformed, you know, and to be different from the world. I don't know about nobody else, but I wanted to be set apart. I wanted to be holy. I wanted to be different from the world. I wanted change. I wanted to be transformed. I don't want to be like this world. But I mean, I guess that's just me, child. But I don't want to be like, I don't have any desire to be like this world. But to get into a few scriptures, we have Jeremiah chapter 1, verse 5. And it says, before I formed you in the womb, I knew you. Before you were born, I set you apart. I appointed you as a prophet to the nations. Before you even born, when you are called by God, you've been set apart. And that's why a lot of us sometimes, y'all ever heard, like, feeling like you just don't belong. You know, feeling like you just can't fit in. Because it's like God has always been setting you apart. You've always been different from the people that you've came across and the people that you've been around. So you always felt like out of place. Because you always been set apart. You just didn't know what it was at that time. We have Ezekiel chapter 44. 23. And it says, they are to teach my people the difference between the holy and the common, and show them how to distinguish between unclean and the clean. Now, although they were talking about like the priests, we all as Christians are to be setting examples. You know what I'm saying? Because like I always hear people say, you are the only Bible that some people are going to read, child. Some people don't go to church, none of that. So when they come across you and you're saying that you're a Christian, the way you carry yourself, the way you act, is going to show them. Even if you're not acting like how a real Christian acts, that's going to be the last thing, the taste in their mouth that they get from Christians. So yeah, like, so that's why you have to be set apart, and that's why you have to set an example. So we got Leviticus chapter 20, verse 26, and it says, you are to be holy to me, because I am the Lord. Because I, the Lord, am holy, and I have set you apart from the nations to be my own. We got John chapter 17, verse 16 through 17, and it says, they are not of the world, even as I am not of it. Sanctify them by the truth. Your word is truth. As you sent me into the world, I have sent them into the world. I'm sure we all heard that saying, like, we're in the world, but we're not of the world. That is how it's supposed to be when you are a Christian. Yeah, we live in here for now, but we're not supposed to be of it. And that's where the self-control and self-discipline comes in. And people just don't be ready. If you ain't ready to be set apart, if you ain't ready to be different from the world, then you might not be ready for this walk, child. Because that is literally what comes from the walk. That's what happens when you get on this walk. And you have to be willing to let that stuff go, to let the world go. We got Romans chapter 12, verse 2, and it says, do not conform to the pattern of this world, but be transformed by the renewing of your mind. Then you will be able to test and approve what God's will is, his good, pleasing, and perfect will. Do not conform to the pattern of this world, but be transformed by the renewing of your mind. It all starts in your mind. You know what I'm saying? You start seeking the Lord. That's where it all starts, from on the inside and then the outside. Once you're transformed in your mind, the transformation is going to start on the outside. You got to think different first in your head before it shows outside. You know what I'm saying? It starts in the mind first, y'all. So we got 2 Corinthians chapter 6, verse 17. And it says, therefore come out from them and be separate, says the Lord. Touch no unclean thing, and I will receive you. So in multiple situations, the Lord, you know, speaks of how he has set us apart. You know, his prophets and just different things like that. And a lot of Christians don't want to be set apart. They want to fit in. And I think that a lot of people don't want to be set apart too is because being set apart brings attention. Okay? Because when you're set apart, you stop doing things that are looked at as normalized and traditional. Like, you stop doing a lot of things that the Lord has called you to stop doing, and you start doing a lot of things that are not normalized. Okay? So when you follow the Lord and when you're set apart, it brings attention to you. And it's not always good, because for some, I talk about this all the time. People do not like when you are changing. Okay, because it makes people self-reflect on them. It makes people start talking about you. It makes people target you. You know what I'm saying? And people don't like that type of attention, so they rather blend in. They don't want to stand out. They don't want to be set apart. But when you are called by God, that's just what comes with it. You are going to stand out no matter if you even try to blend in. But you shouldn't want to blend in. You know what I'm saying? You should want to be set apart, because that shows that you are truly walking with the Lord, being set apart. It's a beautiful thing. It's a blessing, you know? But if this word is not for you, it's for somebody else. Remember, I'm telling y'all it's because I love y'all. God bless.